everyone. I'm so excited today to be able to announce something that I've been working on for kind of a while now. I've always wanted to do this and I finally have. I have designed and developed and built my own custom hammers. First of all, you can order these hammers at katiemoritz.com right now. There are plenty of hammers available to ship. I've got them all ready. I'm sanding them and getting them ready to go. I am building these hammers myself. So it's definitely a labor of love. But second, I want to talk a little bit about the design of this hammer. All of my grips look like this on my standard hammers and my custom hammers. There's a reason for this design. Number one, yeah, it's pretty, but these little cutouts kind of help to reduce the weight of the grip end. I don't like a real heavy grip. I've got pretty small hands as well, so I don't like a real wide grip. These are about 3/8 of an inch wide. These cutouts help the grip end to not be quite so heavy, and that way the other end of the hammer can do the work for you. I also like a real exaggerated curves. This is something that I've kind of wanted to have in my own hammers for a while. I like to play, I like a hammer that can do a 3-fingered, you've got your 2 fingers and your thumb, or just a finger and a thumb type of a grip. So this design does work well with both. It also has helped to kind of alleviate some hand pain that I've developed over years of working at computers, because it is such an exaggerated curve. It has helped me with just not having to work so hard to get the hammer to move the way I want it to move. So that's the grip end of the hammer. The end of this other end of the hammer, which all of my hammers are made of maple, although you can get them custom made in walnut. They're a little bit lighter weight when you do that. So all of my hammers do come in maple, and they all feature a sort of flat striking surface, which is not perfectly horizontal with the hammer. It's at a slight angle because that's usually how you're going to be hitting your strings. It's a small flat surface, though. It's not real big, so it's not going to cause you to be hitting more than one string at a time if you have a smaller string spacing. And it has these curved edges that will kind of help you to not necessarily, even with the flat surface that you're striking with, you're not going to get caught on the strings as easily. So that's the first thing. These hammers are available in both a standard double side where it's wood on one side, leather on the other side, and they're also available in a double leather option. I'm going to show you the sound difference between these. This is a double leather option, which is the leather on one side and then a harder leather on the other side. I don't tend to ever play with the wood sides of my hammers. I tend to prefer the leather side, but lately at least, I don't know if my taste has changed, I feel like the leather side is a bit muddy for me. So I find myself piling masking tape or washi tape or anything on the wood side of the hammer to get a crisp tone, but not harsh like wood. That, of course, weighs down the hammer head. It also makes the striking surface bigger, and that tape comes off and gets stuck on my strings or whatever. So it's been a little bit of a struggle, and this real hard leather produces exactly the tone that I like. It's really crisp, but it's not too muddy and it's not too harsh. So I have an option that has leather on both sides, no wood. And I'll let you hear what the tone quality and the difference in sound from those. Also, these hammers are available in a 9-inch length, which is what I prefer, but I also have a really long instrument. And they're also available in an 8-inch length. This one doesn't have any leather on it yet, but so you can see kind of the difference in length there. It's just 1 inch. If you like a little bit shorter hammer, you can go with the 8-inch hammers. You also have the option to pick your grip color. There are 4 colors that are readily available for anybody ordering a standard pair of hammers. So let's see, yeah, that's showing up pretty good. This is Purple Heart, that's available. It's going to be kind of that pretty burgundy color. This is Paduke, which is a very orangey red kind of a color. All of these are wood, which is organic material, so some of the colors are going to vary a little bit. This one here, I wish it would show up pretty. It's so pretty. It's really All right, well, you're getting kind of a weird glare, but this is a really pretty piece of Wenge. And it's almost like a black brown, and then it has this figuring in the wood striping. It's really pretty. So if you like a real dark grip, you can go with that. And then this one here on the end is walnut. Walnut is one of my favorite types of wood, and it can vary in color. Let me see if I can find this pair of hammers is walnut, and you can see where one side's rather dark and the other side's kind of light, both walnut. Anyway, so those are your 4 colors of grips. Everything that I've talked about so far is available on a standard ready-to-order pair of hammers. However, you can order a very custom pair of hammers, and I'll probably dedicate the rest of this video to all of the choices that you have there. So with a custom pair of hammers, you can first choose whatever length you want. So if you have a very specific, for example, you want a very specific length from the center of the grip to the center of the striking surface or something like that, I can create a hammer exactly the length that you would like it to be. I can also do a couple different types of wood that are not these 4, right? So I can do, number 1, I can do a walnut hammer shaft. Walnut hammer is going to be lighter weight. I can do maple grips, only available on a walnut hammer. I also can do, this is cherry grips. Now this is on a maple hammer, but I do really think that this would be pretty on walnut as well. This is a really pretty kind of blonde, creamy, low contrast hammer. This is kind of fun. The zebra wood grips, so that's an option. This is like a mahogany sapelli. It's a nice medium toned warm color. I think that's all of the different grip colors that are available for custom. You can obviously still choose any of these 4, but you have some more options, including changing the color of your hammer itself or the wood itself to walnut. The next choice that you have after you've chosen your length and you've chosen what color woods you would like to have, you can choose again the striking surface if you want that regular standard leather and wood, or if you want the double leather, you have that option as well. You can do a custom head design. So I have a few examples here that I can show you. First off, all of my hammers come with this sort of standard nature themed vine. It feels really nice. I'm actually playing with just a standard pair of hammers these days. You can also get just a premium design hammer, which this is an inlay. It's going to be purple heart with either maple or yellow heart on the center. This matches the sound hole on my instrument, and this is available to anybody wanting to purchase the premium hammers from my website. These are all available. The next thing that you can do is get a little bit more custom. Let's see if we can get it displayed properly. Sort of a custom monogrammed hammer. So you can get your own initials, up to 3 letters in the hammer head. Something you have to keep in mind is that this is 3-dimensional. So KEM, which kind of looks like Ken, is only going to be readable from one direction. If I were to play with the other side of the hammers, it flips upside down. If you're looking at it from the other direction, it also flips. So it's a really cool thing though, but it's something that you just have to keep in mind if you're, I don't know, if somebody's taking pictures of you and you want it to be a certain way. Just got to make sure that you're holding your hammers the right way. The next thing is I showed a little bit about these inlays, right? So I can do any kind of an inlay in the design. On my website, I have an example of the little pug dog. And these sort of blanks, I can make them any length, I can make them any grip, and I can put any design in this space up at the top. So if you have an idea and it's a simple custom design, pretty affordable to get that placed right into your hammer and make a really special pair of hammers. The next option would be to, instead of doing an inlay, you can also get your design cut right into the maple. That's the same price for a simple design. So this is a custom hammer that I made for Jess Dickinson. This would be considered a simple design. It's got engraving on both sides, but it's not an over-the-top super detailed type of a thing. Most of your Celtic knotwork, things like that, are going to fall into that that simple custom design price range, and you can either have those put into an inlay or cut right into your hammers. I have one example of a really super custom hammer. So this one is the Kildalton cross, which it's very detailed, you can see, and you can also see that it's different front and back. There's a north side and the south side of this cross, so it's got a different design front and back. That's going to be a much more custom option that would probably increase your price, but if that's something you're interested in, it is something that I can do. Just remember, on all of these, it is a small, I mean, this is tiny, this is not a lot of space, so high detail might just not be what you need anyways. So those are your custom head options. There's more options, of course. You can do engraving. On any standard pair of hammer, you can add engraving, and the engraving is included on one side of your custom hammers, and you can also purchase it for one side of a standard pair of hammers. If you want engraving on both sides, then you can contact me and we can add that onto the price. There's one more thing I want to mention. Here we go. These are just kind of little add-ons that you could do. It's not something that I would necessarily do for myself, but it's an option. If you like a heavier grip end, I can do an inlay. This is not a very good example because it's hardly contrasting wood, but I've got a Purple Heart inlay on a Paduk grip. I could do a different color inlay, and then that's going to add a little bit of weight to the grip, and it could also add some contrast to something pretty. In person, these look much better. They're kind of neat, but the other thing I can add are these leather grips. I get nervous, and then I'm like trying to get the sweat off of my fingers before I play. So the leather grips are a nice thing. You could obviously just put some, medical tape or something on your hammers as well, but this is an option if you like it. It does weigh a little bit more, makes the grip end of the hammer a little bit more substantial. Anyways, I think I covered everything. So what I'm going to do is finish off by just showing you some examples of the sound and the maneuverability. I'll switch to my other camera for that. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit with the wood side so you can hear what they sound like. So that's your just basic wood side. So here's your kind of typical leather sound. So that's just the black leather, real soft sounding. I've kind of compared it in person with a number of my other leather-sided hammers, and it's pretty standard sounding. So here's the little bit brighter sounding hard leather. So that, I mean, that's my favorite, obviously. I feel like I get a lot of different variation in volume. I can go quiet or loud. These are available at my website, katiemoritz.com.